Scammers are everywhere. There are a bunch of people trying to impersonate me and Sean and trying to get what's in your wallet. We do not promote airdrops, and we also do not engage in copy trading. We will never ask you for any money in any capacity. Don't trust, verify. If something feels off, check with the Discord community before acting. To ensure you're speaking to the right Sean and Krisha, just click our names on the top right-hand side.
Alrighty, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's been a while since we've done a dedicated Bitcoin video, and I figured, hey, I think it's time we talk Bitcoin, because Bitcoin for a very long time has not been all that interesting to me, but now it's getting increasingly interesting, increasingly easier to trade as well. I'm going to explain why in this video. Now, just a quick recap so you guys are all on the same page with me. If you guys have been following Mango for at least 6 months, right? Now, it'd be better if you guys have been following us for this entire cycle, because you'll get a firmer understanding of what and how we think about the markets. But let's say for at least 6 months, then you guys know that the last time we put on our aggressive leverage trades were this region over here, this green box territory, at around $59,000 to $60,000. This was right after we were patiently waiting in our spot positions for the rejection on that monthly candle. Got that rejection into our zone, the patience paid off, and then we got the impulsive move. We then added right over here, this green box territory at around $65,000 to $67,000, and then off to the races. Ever since then though, I wasn't all that interested in Bitcoin, okay? I was like, okay, the trade is now running. Enjoy the trade, enjoy the profits. There was a take profit zone right over here, and then as soon as we closed above that take profit zone, that was another trade opportunity on the lower time frames, right? On the 4-hour to 12-hour time frame, you could be putting on a trade around the $89,000 region. This is something else I talked about in the daily video. There was one last daily video I did where we were looking for Bitcoin to go from like around $89,000 to $100,000, right? Now, ever since then, Bitcoin has been sitting so far away from our key trending indicators. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Mango dynamic right over here. Right, you can see that at this juncture over here, I wasn't all that interested, because if you draw out where Bitcoin was sitting at around $100,000, 99 to 100,000, and you just draw the measure, right, you're going to see that it's around 23% away from the Mango dynamic on the 40. That's a really good way to just kind of get a quick guesstimate as to how far out of equilibrium price is. Now, that's not to say that prices are definitely going to pull back over there, right? It's just me saying that at that juncture, considering I already had a really good position, I wasn't all that interested in putting on trades. I was looking for the easier trades, and that wasn't easy for me, right? I would have to bring down position size, etc., etc. Okay. In fact, we were taking profits on our leverage trades at this red box area over here, right? Why would I be putting on leverage trades at $100,000? It just isn't Mango to do so. Now, that doesn't mean I'm doing it only because of the nominal value. This is what I was explaining in the most recent live stream as well. I was saying, guys, you got to learn how to start being indicator dependent and less nominal value dependent, right? You got to be nominal value agnostic. It shouldn't matter what the nominal value is. What should matter is where your indicators are sitting and where price is sitting relative to the indicator, right? So this is a really good example right here. You guys can see that now the 4-day dynamic has officially penetrated into this consolidation range, making it a lot more appetizing for me. If I go ahead and draw in a horizontal line right over here at the bottom, the candle close bottom of the range, you guys can see the 4-day dynamic has penetrated the range, right? So the bottom of the range could be looked at as around $93,000, or you could use the wick low, which is all the way down here at $89,000, right? But we're going to use the candle close. You can see that the 4-day has penetrated that as well. All right, good. So we now know that price is coming more in equilibrium. This is great considering Bitcoin is still within its range, right? Within the 4-day candle close range at the very least. You can go ahead and mark out the top of the candle close range right over there, which is coming at around $106,000, and the bottom of the range is coming in at $93,000. Now the big question is, what does Bitcoin do from over here? Do we break up above the range, or do we break down underneath the range? One of the things I teach over here at Mango is always look for the trend to persist, right? So your probability should always err to the side of the prevailing trend. And well, the current prevailing trend is to the upside, right? If you go ahead and switch on over to the monthly, you'll see that the trend is still up. So just to a trend trader's perspective, you should be looking for this to break to the upside, especially since we are still living above the 4-day dynamic, above the bi-weekly dynamic, above the 2-day dynamic as well. You guys can see that every test of the 2-day dynamic has been holding. In fact, the 2-day candle is also holding the 4-day range, right? Every 2-day candle is closing above the 4-day range. So this is looking extremely healthy. Now, this is not to say that we cannot break to the downside, but until we actually start closing candles underneath, well, $93,000, 400, or to be safe, you should be looking for candles to close underneath the 4-day dynamic right over here at 89,593. Also, keep in mind, guys, that these levels are dynamic and they will be updating as price unfolds, especially the 2-day dynamic level coming in currently at 98,683. Now, I will be keeping you guys updated on these levels via the daily videos and live streams. So make sure you guys are hitting that notification icon so that way you don't miss any new bid opportunity or invalidation as these levels update. $90,000 is your invalidation level. Underneath $90,000, that's when you can look for prices to come down, and I'll be looking for price to come down somewhere to the bottom of this channel over here, right, which will likely line up with our bi-weekly dynamic coming in at around 78,000. So let's go ahead and actually do that right over there. Mark a horizontal right over there. Let's see if that lines up with our 4-day and right over there, right? So we could see this zone over here get tested somewhere around April if we do break down. So if we do see failure of this continue to the upside, right, if this takes far too long and the market capitulates just out of boredom, you guys should entertain the possibility of price making its way somewhere around here, maybe seeing a little wick underneath, and then later making its way to the upside. Now at this point, you guys are thinking, hey Sean, I want a definitive answer as to where price is gonna go. I'm sorry, that's not what trading is. Trading is about playing the probabilities, and there is no certainty in these markets. If you guys are looking for certainty, go trade the fixed income markets. In crypto, there is no certainty. You play the probability. And if you guys aren't leaving room for this possibility, guys, the market can come down here and still hold the cyclical trend. Because don't forget, again, if you guys have been following Mango for this entire cycle, our cyclical indicator for the cycle to be invalidated is only when we lose the bi-weekly dynamic. And look at this. If you look at the bi-weekly, this looks like a massive breakout out of a bull flag into another bull flag, and the bi-weekly dynamic is coming down all the way at around 79,000 to 75,000, right? So there's so much room for this to actually break down and still be fine. So yeah, you have to allow for price to breathe. And at the moment, we're consolidating at the top of this 4-day dynamic range, right? I do want to draw your attention to the fact that Bitcoin has been showing so much strength against this 2-day. Every test of this 2-day dynamic has been getting supported. The only time we tested the 4-day was on this wick of the 2-day candle right over here, guys. This candle, right? We wicked into the 4-day dynamic level and closed above the 2-day dynamic anyways. So the one time the bears had the opportunity to close underneath the 2-day dynamic, you can see that the bulls ended up closing above anyways, right? And even right over here on this 2-day candle, on this test of the 2-day dynamic, with all the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt in regards to DeepSeek somehow coming in and crashing the entire markets, even though it is one of the biggest productivity and efficiency enhancements we have seen, which is long-term bullish crypto, the market failed to close underneath the 2-day dynamic, which is a significant sign of strength, right? If I was a bear, I would be feeling a little bit antsy. Now, again, that's not to say that we can't lose it in the next upcoming candles, but all of this has been surprising me as well. Because remember, guys, I have been personally waiting for Bitcoin to either come down to the 4-day dynamic or the 4-day dynamic to come up to Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin has now held so well that the 4-day dynamic has broken into its range. Yes, we got this test over here, but look at how Bitcoin picked itself up off the 4-day dynamic. So this is looking really, really strong, right? Now, again, you guys know my downside targets if we lose the 4-day dynamic, right? And I have to talk about that because I would be irresponsible if we don't talk about the downside targets. But me personally, I'm looking for Bitcoin to break to the upside over here. Okay, as you can see that I have a couple of red box territories right over here. This is not where I'll be taking profits off my spot trades. This is a different chart where I've marked out only my leverage trade plan, and this is where I'll likely be looking to close out profits on my leverage trades. If you guys want a more detailed video on how I'm looking to manage my spot trades, let me know, where I have a detailed plan for what I'll be looking for Bitcoin to do. And if you guys are on the C program and missed that C Clubhouse session from a week ago and 2 weeks ago, please go ahead and watch that. It is a really important video, especially if you guys are looking to manage your cyclical spot position. So right over here, we are talking only about how I'm going to be managing my leverage trades. And over here, I'll be looking to take profits off my leverage trades around. I'm not entirely sure about the $120,000 region anymore, right? Considering how this consolidation has played out, I may actually either reduce the profits I take at the $120,000 level, or just not take any profits over there at all. But definitely around the $140,000 region, I'll be taking some profits off my leverage trades. Now, as long as we're holding the 2-day dynamic, guys, I really don't think you should be even concerned. Okay, you should just be like, this is likely going to break up, right? And you should not be concerned at all if we are above the 4-day dynamic. Okay, as long as you're within this range, you should be looking for this range to break to the upside. Why? Because the prevailing trend is to the upside. If we break underneath, that's when you can look for Bitcoin to make its way all the way down to the $78,000 region. But even then, if it does get down to this region over here, guys, it's gonna be a buy opportunity. And that takes me to the most important chart of this video, which is gonna be the monthly time frame right over here. We are about to close a monthly in 2 days and 16 hours. And if you guys are primarily concerned about your spot positions, this is by far the most important chart that you guys need to be keeping an eye on. Your mid time frames on your 2-day, your 4-day are not going to be as important as this chart, but you can use your 2-day and your 4-day time frame now leading into the monthly to keep an eye on how this monthly is going to close, because as long as monthly closes anywhere around here, we are fantastic, right? So what does that mean? As long as a monthly is closing above the 2-day dynamic, we are fantastic. This is what I said to everyone in the Mango Discord. By the way, join our Mango Discord if you haven't yet. You can find us at themangoway.com/Discord. Now, as a quick way to remember the important levels for this upcoming monthly close, the quote I gave everyone at the Mango Discord is, remember the month of November, the November close, the November high. As long as Bitcoin is closing above these two levels, guys, the November high and the November close, we are in a good position, and you should be looking for this to break to the upside. The November high is coming in at 99,588. The November close is coming in at 96,407. And notice, both of these levels are above the 2-day dynamic, which is coming in at 98,809. Now remember, this is a dynamic level and it will be updating as price unfolds. For example, the 2-day dynamic just a couple of weeks ago was sitting all the way down at around $93,000. Now it's moved up to $99,000 almost. So I'm going to keep you guys updated on these levels via the daily videos and the live streams. So if you guys want to make sure that you're not missing out on the next better opportunity or the invalidation in case we close underneath the 2-day dynamic, make sure to hit the notification icon so you're not missing that update. Now, until the next video, guys, keep it mango, keep it easy, keep it stress-free. I'll see you in our Discord. Ciao.